What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly 30-minute podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me, as always, is WildTwinsFan. And Wildy, we have a couple of guests on the show today. You want to intro them?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So first guest here, we have some people here with Players versus Cancer. And we have Michael and Ashley.
What's going on, guys?
Not much. Happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us.
Excited to be here.
So Michael and Ashley are actually part of the AACR, the American Association for Cancer Research. Guys, why don't you tell us more about the association and their background and the goal and what the AACR is really trying to do?
Sure. Yeah, so the American Association for Cancer Research, or the AACR, is the first and largest cancer research organization in the world. We're dedicated to preventing all types of cancer, anything from pediatric to adult cancer. And within the past year, we developed PVC, which stands for Players vs. Cancer. And that mission is to bring together gamers to raise awareness and funds for life-saving cancer research, all with a shared goal of eradicating cancer. And all the fundraising efforts of PVC goes to benefit the AACR. So we're really excited about this program. Mike and I are kind of co-leading this together. And there's a lot of fun ways to get involved, whether it's doing your own fundraiser, to joining our stream team, to just even following our social channels to learn more about our mission and a little more information about cancer.
Nice.
That's awesome. How long has PVC been around?
So we started the program, or at least the genesis of the idea, probably around this time frame. It all started when we went to TwitchCon about a year ago, and our team that attended, I think the entire team was taken aback because, one, of just the pure volume, how many people were at this conference, but at the same time, the community. Luckily, we had a chance to actually have a table at the event, so we really got to meet this gaming world and learn how lively and savvy and educated they were, but also how cause-driven. People wanted to learn about the AACR and our mission and how to get involved. So as soon as we left that meeting and came back, we got together and said, all right, what's our plan? Let's do this, which is great that our leadership's behind it. And we also thought, like, wow, this is a great group, a great demographic to get our mission behind and really highlight the importance of supporting cancer research. Because, I mean, as we well know, 1 in 3 people are going to be impacted by cancer. So if it's not yourself, it's your loved one. And we really had the opportunity to educate the group about, what are the latest advancements in cancer research? What do you need to know about treatment, prevention, and screening so you can really be your best health advocate for yourselves and your loved ones? And with Players vs. Cancer and the support of gamers, we feel that we can really make a meaningful impact in the education, but also for fundraising for cancer research, because it's expensive. And so it's really, like our name says, it's going to take us all coming together, fighting together, playing together to fight back against cancer. And we're really excited to be working with passionate gamers to get closer to our mission of curing cancer.
Nice.
Yeah, so as you guys know, reached out to you guys a few weeks ago. Part of the reason why you guys are on the podcast is we're actually doing a charity event during the week of October 18th. And we really wanted to find a cause that would really benefit not a specific area of cancer, but cancer as a whole, prevention, finding new alternative methods, new alternative treatments that are less dangerous. Because personally, I find chemotherapy, kind of a very dangerous treatment. You're willingly pumping your body full of toxins to kill off, strenuous white blood cells. And, oftentimes people don't necessarily die specifically from the cancer, but they die from the treatment because they get sick because of a weakened immune system, or something to that extent. But that's the main reason why Wildy and I sat down, we discussed, and we decided that we wanted to do a cancer-based charity event in October, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it just kind of goes hand in hand. We intend to do 2 charity events per year, one towards mental health awareness, which is a huge area in the gaming industry. And then, of course, cancer awareness, because we have, some stories that have really hit close to home on that. And, that's the reason why we're doing it. One of those stories is I lost my mom almost a little less than 2 years ago now, to cervical cancer, and she was pretty late stage diagnosed, but she survived for pretty much 2 years, almost 2 years to the date that she got diagnosed. And she went through a bunch of I saw the pain that she had to go through, all the experimental procedures, all the experimental medicines, things like that. And it's very, very close to a torturous kind of regimen, especially with like a chemotherapy. You have to get stabbed in the chest with a big needle in I forget what they're called, but the things that they put in the chest to put the chemo
ports
through. Yeah, the ports. And my mom wasn't a big fan of needles. My mom was allergic to the tape and stuff that they use, so she would break out every time they had to put the tape on her and everything. So it was just a painful process, the radiation treatments and everything. It was a really painful process. And it's something that as her son, I could not bear to watch. 'Cause like I said, it looks very archaic torture. And, if there's something that I can do to preserve my mom's legacy, it's to stop the pain and figure out a way that people don't have to deal with the pain anymore, and be able to prevent it and cure it so that people don't have to lose any more family members. I mean, I lost my mom when I was in my 20s, which is crazy to know that I'm growing up, in my 30s and 40s and 50s without my mom. And, my mom passed away at the age of 50, which is way too young for anybody to pass away from. And, my grandparents are still alive. And the one thing that we talked about is, parents should never outlive their kids. So, that's one of the goals that I'm looking to try to make happen is, we're preventing these cancers, or we're eradicating these cancers so that families stick together, and the natural life cycle of things actually plays out the way they're supposed to play out when they tell you that, when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what the scientists at the AACR are about. They're always about new cutting edge treatments and trying to find different ways to address cancer, because cancer is not just one disease. It's like, at minimum, it's over 200. And Ashley and I aren't doctors, so we can't give medical or scientific advice. But the scientists that are in the labs creating these treatments are doing the most cutting edge stuff. And like every single advance in cancer research is due to the folks that are in the labs. That's why we do what we do, to support their efforts to come up with cutting edge treatments for all of these diseases, which, at minimum, you can count them as more than 200. But I mean, everybody's cancer is different. It's a phenomenon. It's not necessarily a disease. It's unchecked growth of cells. Mm-hmm. And there are so many ways to treat it. And the scientists are always in their labs trying to come up with new ones.
I saw kind of a key piece here when Ashley said, when you guys kind of had the first intro meeting to, this concept or this idea of the players versus cancer. And it's like, when Day and I, we came up with this and we wanted to do this, and we pitched it in a podcast. And it's like, all of a sudden we had other streamers just step up to me like, how do we get in? How do we get to be a part of it? How do we, and it was so cool, right? Because we hadn't really even at that point really thought about it, because it was kind of 6 weeks out yet, and we haven't thought about developing a team and getting other streamers to come on and stream with us this week. And we got some Facebook streamers, we got some Twitch streamers, and just people just jumped at the opportunity to be part of this, and it's super cool, and I'm appreciative to see the efforts of everyone coming together, because it's affected everyone. I lost 2 uncles in 1 year to prostate cancer. I mean, looking at my family line, it's like I had to think about it. My one side of the family, I don't know if I'd say I'm fortunate enough, but I haven't lost any grandparents to cancer. But everyone else I can look at, there's cancer and cancer and cancer, and it's crazy. And so I want to do my piece, and if maybe I don't know what my fundraising goal, if I'm gonna make that or not or whatever, but at least I hope I'm gonna bring some support to the Players versus Cancer, to AACR, and we'll get going that way. And so I'm excited.
We're continually humbled by the support we get in this community. I mean, the gaming community has been just so incredibly supportive of our efforts, and even more so as we expand. Right, Ashley?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I mean, are you guys seeing are you guys seeing a change in how charity events are being done nowadays? I mean, traditionally it was a big charity drive or a telethon or something like that. Are you seeing more success with gamers and streamers doing these charity events through like Tiltify or the various other streaming / charity platforms?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time for charities, and I'm guessing every charity is looking at these gaming and streaming fundraisers and thinking, wow, how can I do that? How can I replicate it? Because these events were raising a significant amount of donations in a short period of time, and like we're all talking about this is a passionate community, and that's like the formula for success for charities. So, and especially recently, I'm seeing charities are looking for new and creative ways to engage donors. We're moving away from the telethons like you mentioned and the walks, and shifting to events that will resonate with a more diverse audience. And I think gaming is exactly where that's leading charities too. But at the same time, it's causing a little bit of a learning curve. I know Mike and I can say that we've learned so much in this short period of time within the past year, because it is a new donor demographic for us. This is a younger audience that's getting involved, the millennials and Gen Zs, which means we have a whole new marketing approach. It's not LinkedIn and Facebook. It's these new marketing social platforms like TikTok and YouTube and Twitch and also Discord. And how can we use this to get in front of this new audience? So that's what we've been really focusing on and strategizing. And I think especially lately, COVID and just quarantine and people being at home has really shifted charities and organizations in general from these live events to now virtual events, and we're seeing it be successful. And I see this as a way that charities are going to use as a platform moving forward.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask was, collectively, are these gaming and streaming charity events that we'll call them micro charity events, because it's either an individual or a small group of individuals that are like ourselves that are doing these charity events. Are you seeing that collectively these micro charity events are generally more successful than the larger charity events, the larger ones where it's costing it might cost the AACR PVC more money to set up a booth or set up a a walk or anything like that? Are you seeing these become more successful and more profitable for the organizations?
Not yet. Well, definitely starting to see more of them in number. And I think that's partly due to the explosion of the live streaming technology and the ability of people to get on and do it and fundraise while they're doing it through Donor Drive or Tiltify or whatever method that makes it easy for someone to collect donations. So we're starting to see more of them, yes. Again, we're only a year in, so it hasn't surpassed some of our larger live events that we've been doing for a long time. So the thing is, though, I mean, Ashley and I and the rest of our team, we're here to try to make that happen through growing our audience, through building a community. And this is an extremely important way for us to do it, for us, for the organization. And the goal is to build that community and to try to build on the success we've had building other communities. Like in particular, AACR has done a lot of stuff in the running community for a very long time. And we haven't overtaken those funds yet, but that's our goal.
Nice. I think, some of the things are really nice too, like the integration into the apps and the Tiltify. I love the Tiltify because I don't have to handle anything and no one has to be weary about where the money's coming, where it's going. Like you have reputable companies handling and shifting the money and taking the payments and stuff like that. And, before that stuff gets a little bit hairier. Are you going to PayPal me money and then I'm going to donate it and stuff like that? I love the hands off. I love that everyone can be guaranteed that their money's going to where they want it to go. The AACR has a tremendous 88% of every dollar or whatever. That's a great number. That's a great charity. I'm happy to be part of this and support this charity.
Yeah. I think it's all about building trust in the online community, and some of the platforms you've mentioned go a long way to doing that, so that you don't have to just PayPal someone, Venmo someone.
Right.
It's going through proper channels, and it also, you mentioned the 88 cents on the dollar, which is the amount that AACR goes to fundraising. The thing is you have to have that trust there, and people want to know what they're donating to. And when you have metrics like that, you can look at the organization and go, okay, is my money going to a reputable place? So it's not just the technology, but it's the trust in the organization, it's the trust in the community, and it's all building towards this massive explosion in the amount of money that's being raised in Twitch.
Yep, excellent.
So how can others contribute to the cause? How can they become members of Players versus Cancer? What type of gamers or what type of streamers are you looking for? I know you guys are trying to build kind of like an ambassadorship with the Players versus Cancer, and people that are really going to be able to spread the message. What kind of people are you looking for, and how can they contribute either financially or just their time to be able to volunteer and spread the word about the brand and everything? So
I'm not sure we've just necessarily decided on 100% of what we're looking for. We're eventually going to build a stream team, like some of the other organizations you see, the Stack Ups and the Extra Lives of the world. We're on the path to doing that, and we're trying to outline what that looks like at this point. We will get there. And also we have an advisory board of folks that we've met in our journey so far that kind of are more seasoned streamers, content creators that are trying to guide us through maybe some of the pitfalls and ways to go that'll help build the organization a little bit better and connect with folks more. So we're going to take their advice. We're going to meet a ton of people. And as we get our stuff together, we're going to build out a stream team so that we can have more than just, one face for what PVC is doing. We want a bunch of passionate people out there spreading our message and fundraising for us. And how can people get involved? So, just follow us on all the social channels, and we can list those at the end where we're doing all our plugs and whatnot. But follow us there, follow the stream. We're on a couple days a week at 5:00 Eastern. While you're there,
what's your channel on Twitch? What's the stream?
On Twitch, we're Players vs Cancer.
Okay.
And so come to the stream, chat with us, find out more about what we're about. Give us a follow. You can donate while you're there. There's a bunch of stuff on our page that lets you know how you can actually do a fundraiser on your own. And we support you all the way with that. We've got a toolkit for everyone of talking points, overlays, all that kind of stuff to get you fundraising as quickly as possible. And we always make a commitment to boost everyone we know about that's fundraising for us, because we feel that obligation. Like, if you're going to put your time into supporting our mission, we're going to support you.
Yeah, that's great. So far, it's been great.
Yeah, the amount of support, go ahead, Ashley.
Sorry.
Just to echo what Mike said at the very end about passion. I mean, if you're passionate about this cause and you've been impacted by cancer at all, or just hate cancer like I do, reach out to us and we can just discuss different ways that you can get involved. And if not, just pick your brain about this gaming world and have just a conversation about PVC and what different ways that you can get involved, because our Get Involved page has a list of different ways, but we're always looking at ways to grow and diversify the ways that you can get involved.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo Wildy's sentiment. Like the community as a whole, like we really weren't expecting. We announced this, and then it was literally the next day after the podcast episode went live when we first announced it. We literally had 5 or 6 people reach out to us. Hey, how can we join in? How can we help? And so that's where we're sitting at right now. We've got people that are actively wanting to help, and it's been really, really great. And it goes to show you how many people in the gaming community are passionate about a lot of these different causes. And like you said, cancer affects 1 in 3 people. That's a huge amount of people. So I mean, that's another reason that a lot of people in this community are passionate about cancer awareness. And then again, like we said, in the springtime, we're going to do our springtime fundraiser, which is for mental health awareness, which is another big thing here in the gaming community. So here at A Gaming Moment, we really look forward to helping the community outside of the gaming community and taking what we know. And we spend a lot of time doing this anyway. Let's be honest, gamers spend a lot of time on video games. So there's a benefit to taking the time that we're doing and really applying it towards something that could be really life-changing. And not only it could save somebody that we know's life, but it could also save our life at the end of the day. The dollars that we raise could eventually come back, knock on wood, hopefully nothing never happens to us. But I know my family history. Wildy knows his family history. There's a chance that we could end up in a precarious predicament, and the money that we raise could actually be the life that last dollar that we raise could be the life-saving dollar that we have.
Yep.
So the AACR has been around for a very long time, and in that time, it's given away over $400 million in grants to fund cancer research. And to be honest, that's only a drop in the bucket of what's going to be necessary to get the job done. That's why we do what we do, and every dollar that we raise towards that counts. It's not how much you raise; it's the awareness you're getting out there, and the money that goes. Like, it's all part of this giant pot, and the goal is so big of curing cancer. But we're going to get there if we all do it together.
Yeah, for sure.
So, guys, what games are you guys playing right now?
So let's get some gamer things. Are you guys, how big of gamers are you? Are you not too big of a gamer? Mike, I know you're on stream playing Overwatch and
Ashley, you want to take that one first, and then I'll jump in.
Get me over with. I'm not as big into gaming. I'm slowly getting in there. So back when we were in the office, I would be able to stream with Mike sometimes, and we would play Mario Kart, which is my go-to. And I feel like I'm actually pretty good. I don't want to blow Mike's spot out right now, but I did beat him one or two times. So I'm very proud of myself. And then, I want to get more into the mobile gaming and things that are easy to just get right on my phone. But other than that, just learning a lot and joining on Twitch to see what games I might be interested in playing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a pretty hardcore gamer. I think the first game I ever picked up was Pong in 1979. And I will stand for Atari 2600 all day long. But these days, I think on the stream lately, I've been playing Animal Crossing, which game of the year, hands down. Play a lot of Overwatch. I've been doing, what else have I done on the stream lately? Oh, I'm finishing up Horizon Zero Dawn. And when Dr. Nora, who's one of our scientists, will come on, he and I will either do Overwatch, or lately we've been jumping into Fall Guys, which the game is so humbling. I mean, I tell my son, like, when he gets mad when he plays, and I'm like, dude, the game is set up to actually not work. That's why you're so angry. But yeah, I'm a huge hardcore gamer. I always will be. I'm on pins and needles waiting for the next batch of consoles to come out. But my kids always tease me that I like the old man games. I'm an RPG fan, man, all the way. The Horizons, Ghost of Tsushima, another great title that I put a lot of time into this year. Final Fantasies, all that stuff. Love it.
Nice. Yes, my wife is not a big gamer, and sometimes I'd say, I don't know if she's like, she's not going to be the FPS gamer. She's not going to be, jumping in and blazing guns battles, but she's such a movie fan. And I'm like, I don't know why you don't, like, we got it a little bit into The Witcher, like the Witcher series on Netflix was amazing. I'm like, and she was kind of into that because I showed her a little bit of the Witcher gameplay. And I think sometimes you need to kind of find what it is that you like and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know how you couldn't like The Witcher. It's like a movie that you get to play,
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So sometimes
another game that I've been thinking of lately along those lines, and they're actually going to make a show of it on HBO, is Last of Us. I mean, as a game, nice game, good game, will work much better as a television show because it's all about the emotion in that game. I could take or leave the combat in that, but just the emotional gut punches in that game were so amazing, and I would recommend that one to anybody.
Yeah, I'm kind of lame. Sometimes I get a game like that, and I haven't played The Last of Us. I don't have PlayStation or anything like that. I think that's a PlayStation exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So but it's just one of those games. I put the settings on low. Like, I'm not in for the combat or the battle. I'm in for the story, and some of that stuff makes some amazing content.
Yep.
So
that's actually funny because that was my initial approach, was Googling scary games because I love a good horror film. And then I got down this whole, it was on Reddit somewhere, and there was this whole discussion about, are games scarier than actual movies? And then I'm like, oh, am I going to take it too far getting into these scary video games? But that is a approach that I'm currently taking, but also nervously taking.
Oh yeah, you should check out some of Markiplier's videos on YouTube. Markiplier's great. He's animated. He's gonna scream and get you going on some of the games. And I watched a couple of his videos, and I honestly, I'm not a horror fan, so it's like I can watch someone else do it, but I don't want to play it myself. I don't want to be scared.
Horror games make for really great Twitch content. I'm not a huge fan of them either, but if you're watching a streamer play a horror game, it can be a lot of fun.
My daughter's been into Five Nights at Freddy. Been playing that, and I hear her, and she's in there screaming and whatever, and I'm like, we could put you on stream. We could make some content with this. And she's pretty young yet. She's a little shy yet, but it sounds like she's having a blast in there. So it's always fun.
Cool.
So, and then we hear you guys are developing a game of your own.
Yes, we are. We when we went to TwitchCon last year, it was kind of our first foray into this world, kind of making our debut. And we were in the charity area, and we were right next to our pals Extra Life, who had the human claw machine, which was pretty impressive, and everybody liked that. So we were like, oh, we have to do something fun. We didn't have a lot of time, but we managed to work with a developer to create kind of a promo for the PvZ program that was called Cancer Destroyer. So it's kind of like a side scroller where you battle cancer, and people asked us, hey, can we play that game? Can we play that game? We're like, that was the number one question we got at TwitchCon last year. So we're like, let's explore this. So it took us a little while to find the right folks to work with, and when we did, we were bringing in our scientists to make sure that the science is right. But we came up with a game called Neoantigen. And it's a third-person space shooter that's going to take place in a star system that resembles a human body, and the enemy is going to have behavioral and visual characteristics of cancer. You get out of the spaceship at some point, you ride around in what we're calling a hoverblade, and you're going to collect currency, which is the data is currency to help you, level up and get different costumes, like different skins, different ships, that kind of thing. It's going to have a single and multiplayer. So we're working with a studio called Canadapt Studios, who have been wonderful so far, and they're a new team in the scene, and they've got some pretty cool credentials of things they've worked on in other places. So we're very happy to be working with them. Like I said, we've got our scientists coming in to make sure that our scripting and what we call things and how things look are very, very based in science. So while you're going to get an entertaining game, you might learn a thing or two about cancer while you're in there. So we're shooting for December. The PC version is going to come out in mid-December. We haven't worked out exactly when mobile is going to come out, but it's going to be very, very shortly after that. And then we're looking to hit the platforms, Xbox and PlayStation, sometime in the first quarter of 2021. And nice. We're hoping this is we're looking at what hopefully will be a AAA game for what's going to be under $10. It's not going to be the longest game in human history. We're going to have 6-7 levels to it. You fight different cancers in each level. But the main thing is, we're hoping to raise money for this, and that's why we wanted to keep it, pretty reasonably priced, so that we're not just getting the hardcore gamers, but also, casual folks who can play on mobile or whatever, and also we want them to learn a little bit about cancer too, find out what the AACR is doing, and support our mission.
Nice. And so I see we can find that the Neoantigen updates and such on playersversuscancer.org.
Yeah, you can go there. Just neoantigen.gg. Easiest way to get to the page there. We'll have, I think, our first trailer's coming out in a couple of weeks. We've got a teaser on there and on our Twitch page, but the real trailer is about 2-3 weeks out now.
Okay, well, we'll have to definitely watch that. We'll retweet that and send that out through our channels too, for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Waldy and I, during our show prep for this, we came across an article. Granted, it's from 2014, but how different organizations are using gamers to help solve some of the world's problems. Like there's a game out there that they're saying by 2050 or 2055 or 2100 or something like that, there's going to be close to 20 billion people on Earth, and we're running out of land to farm and cultivate and grow agriculture and stuff. So they built a game where gamers can find, the purpose of the game is to find cultivatable land that has not been discovered yet. So in your Arctics and your Antarctics and stuff, and figure out different ways to do that. And then, solving different genome problems, because a lot of gamers are problem solvers. They, we tend to find patterns where people can't find patterns. So
would they say they were working on one for 12 years? And they put it out to the gaming community, and the gaming community solved it in 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
That's like gaming the system, that to me is cool. The scientists were here, we can't solve this, and the gamers I gotta, and they did it, and it's so it'd be cool to see some more of that stuff coming in the gaming world. And
crowdsourcing and gamification is the way of the future in education and problem solving. There's no doubt about it. I mean, many minds are much better than one, and you never know who's contributing to that kind of stuff. It could be top people in those fields. But we hopefully we get to that spot one day too.
Sure.
Where we're creating games that help unlock the issues surrounding cancer. Maybe that's on the horizon. Who knows? Maybe that's neoantigen too.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, like I said, maybe there's a pattern that we're not seeing, or that computer algorithms are not able to see, but you get enough people who are really great at problem solving, like gamers are. There's those puzzle gamers that's what they absolutely love to do, is they like to find the little patterns, and maybe that one game can help solve the big issue. It could lead to a breakthrough in cancer science and in medicine.
Yep.
To where it'll either prevent or find a cure. And I think from a gaming perspective, from the community that Wildy and I sit in, that's a huge potential. And I think that's something that, like, the scientists and people on your end could really leverage our community to do, because sometimes a group of people collectively are smarter than supercomputers.
100%.
Yeah.
So guys, where can everybody find out more information about Players versus Cancer, and figure out how to connect with you guys and reach out to you guys and just see how they can help the organization and the cause?
Ashley, you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you can go right to our channel to learn more about Players vs. Cancer, or playersvscancer.org, and you can learn everything from about the program to how to get involved. You can learn about Neoantigen, and there's contact information, so you can be connected to our PVC team, and that's exactly what we're looking to do: just grow the PVC community and talk to individuals that are passionate about cancer and games.
Great. And I think hopefully people can see that this went real well. You guys are a great community, and we're building it. And so I encourage any listeners, any viewers, to definitely go check these out, give them a follow, and let's work with them. Let's all work together and get something done here.
Yeah, let's save some lives. Let's play to end cancer, guys. It's super important. Let's stop losing family members. Let's stop seeing families broken apart by this disease. It's a really big thing. There's one in 3 is too big of a number. We should see 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, but definitely not 1 in 3. So
let's work towards the deal.
It's way too common. We need to see what we can do and do what we can to end this. And again, guys, you guys can help us out by going to agamingmoment.com/charity, which is our landing page for our charity event that's happening in October 18th through the 24th. Is that correct?
Yep. Shooting from the hip. Yep.
Let me validate those dates. Yeah, October 18th through the 24th, week-long charity event. You can catch Wildy or myself streaming. There's also going to be a list of streamers on that landing page that you can follow and support them during the charity event. Links to Players vs. Cancer, to their website, to their Twitch channel, their Twitter page and everything. You'll find links to all that over there, so you can get in contact and do what you can to support. And Ashley, Mike, really appreciate you guys taking time out of your week, your busy schedule, and coming on the podcast with us. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much
for having us. Yeah,
so much for having us.
So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Again, special thanks to the Players vs. Cancer team, Mike and Ashley, for coming out. Consider supporting us on Patreon to help us create more content. And you can also help support us by going to merch.agamingmoment.com, picking up some of that sweet swag. Also, subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to check back every Tuesday for new episodes. And until next time, keep grinding, guys.